We are 507 days away from the start of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This is how you prepare for it. Dímelo, mi gente, this is Travel Football Fan. I'm helping fans save money and travel the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I have here a list with me of some of the top things you have to do starting right now in order to get yourselves, your family members, and your friends ready to go for the 2026 World Cup. Okay, so the first thing you want to start doing is to open up a high yield savings account. Now, what is a high yield savings account? Well, these are specific savings accounts that allow you to earn an above average interest rate on deposits, allowing your bank balance to grow much faster than traditional options. And really, the main reason for this it's because instead of having to pay rent on a building, maintenance of the building, and say salaries, they can take those cost savings that they get and give it back to you. Now, what is the best high yield savings account? Well, just like with travel credit cards, and we'll get to that in a minute, there really isn't a best one, okay? Just because one account might have a high APY, sometimes might require a minimum balance or might not have a bonus that it can give you. So I use websites like nerdwallet.com, bankrate.com, and investopedia.com to comparison shop between the different savings accounts that are out there and go ahead and pick the one that is best for you. But the important thing is this: these types of accounts will allow you to power boost your savings so in that way you can get more money without having to work for that money in time potentially to purchase tickets for the World Cup as well as book your travels for 2026. Number 2, get your passports processed. Oh, sorry, there's a passport book cover. But get your passports, okay? The reason for that is that there is a high likelihood that FIFA will revert back to their traditional ticket sales process, which involved them selling the tickets directly, not like it is right now with the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, in which they're using Ticketmaster. They're going to go back to their own system. At least that is my prediction. It is still a high probability that is going to happen. So, okay, so what that they use their own platform? Well, in their platform, they need a national ID in order to ensure that the tickets that you're purchasing are aligned with someone and not a bot. So in that way they get resold in the third market and then we're all screwed. Okay. Get your social passport, get your friends and family passports, okay, of the country that they are a citizen of. Okay. It doesn't mean I'm telling y'all to just get American passports. I mean, if you're not eligible for this one, then you can't get it. Get a passport of the country in which you are a citizen of. So in that way you are ready to purchase these tickets. That is going to be very, very true for those of you living abroad. Okay, o sea, not Canada, not Mexico, not USA. And I know for many of you, you might be saying, well, I'm not looking to travel anywhere outside of the US. Hell, I'm not even going outside of New York City. It might still be a requirement because for FIFA, at least, it's much easier to get a list of the passport numbers than, say, of all 50 states' driver's license numbers. Or, I mean, maybe they could use a social security number, but again, this is going to be a lot easier for you. And hey, maybe you decide, you know what, maybe I do want to go to Toronto. Maybe I do want to go to Monterrey. You can't if you don't have your passport. Number 3, get your credit scores up and make sure that you're able to sign up for any sort of travel rewards credit card or a cashback credit card that is going to give you the chance between now and 2026 to collect points on travel, whether that be for hotels, transferable points, excuse me, or for specific airline miles, or cash back for everyday purchases that you're making. Now, there is no such thing as the best travel card. None. Travel rewards credit card. Okay. There's no such thing as the best. The Amex Platinum is not the best travel credit card because it has the highest fee or because it's platinum. Okay. That does not exist. Your best travel card could be my worst travel card. It all depends on each person's unique financial circumstances, travel styles, etc. Okay. So, of course, with my wife and I, we like to do a little bit more of luxury travel around the world. We go business class flights. So, we have a certain list of credit cards that work for us because of the spending that we do. So we tend to do a lot of spending on food. We tend to do a lot of spending on bills and just everyday maintenance of the home or just purchases that we're doing here. So we have credit cards like the Capital One Venture X, the American Express Gold Card. Those work for us. But say you're just coming out of a college, maybe those credit cards might not work for you because you're not spending enough per month to generate enough miles. So perhaps a cashback credit card is your best option. Again, remember those websites I mentioned earlier, right? What is this? Nerdwallet.com, Investopedia.com, Bankrate.com. Use those websites to, again, comparison shop the different financial products and services that are available to you. And that way you see, okay, I do this type of spending a lot more than this type of spending. I'm going to go ahead and get this credit card. Or I really like staying at Hilton's. I'm going to get myself to start the $0 annual fee Hilton credit card. So that way I can start racking up my status, racking up points, and at least I'll have my hotel rooms covered. Great. Whatever your strategy, go with that first. And if you need help, remember on my website, travelfootballfan.com, I do offer travel consultations for those of you that are looking to get yourself started on your points and miles journey. Go ahead, check my website for further details. All right, 2 final tips to round out this video. So remember when I told you, go get that passport because FIFA might require it for you to purchase tickets and maybe you want to go to Mexico City or to Vancouver. Well, you also want to do is to make sure that you get either TSA pre-check if you're just going to be flying domestically within the United States, or global entry if indeed you're going to be flying to Mexico, to Canada, and back. Okay, so this is my global entry card, but really, I don't even use my card. I don't even use the app. I just walk up to that little booth. They take my picture, and then they say, Danny Navarro, adios pues, good to go. Perfect. All right. That's why you want TSA pre-check. That's why you want global entry. And I believe for the other 2 programs, it's Centra and Nexus for land crossings for Canada and for Mexico. The reason why you want these programs is to skip the line of the thousands, if not millions, of fans that are coming here. I mean, we already know that there's going to be millions of fans wanting to come here. That's a whole other topic. But you want to beat the crowds, okay? Instead of waiting back, say, for example, whenever I come back to Dulles, there's the massive line of people to my left when you're walking through it. For those of you that have been through Dulles International Airport, you'll know that there's going to be everyone that's going this way to my left because they don't have global entry, and thus they're having to wait and wait and wait, and then their bags are outside, and then it's just a long wait. I only take 2 minutes, go through global entry, they take my picture, and like I said, Danny Navarro, cool. All right, adios pues, see you later. All right, that's why you want these things in your possessions, and that way you skip the lines quick. You get to your hotel room. I mean, you get your bag, you get your taxi, or rideshare or public transit. You get to your hotel. You might even need to get to your game on that day. So instead of waiting potentially 30 minutes, even an hour or so at these lines, you get out of the airport as soon as possible. Okay. If you can, all right, and this is really the final tip here. If you can, scout the cities ahead of time, okay? Which I know kind of seems counterproductive because it's like, wait a minute, you want me to spend money before actually spending money for the 2026 World Cup? I know, it might not make a lot of sense. But say, for example, it might be the first time you're going to that city. It might be worth your time if you can, and if it makes sense for your budget, scout out that city. If you don't have friends or family relatives that can help you out, of course, before you go for the World Cup. That way there's a sense of like, oh, I know what I got to do, even with the airport itself, right? Oh, I know I got to go here and I got to do this. Oh, yeah, this place looks cool. Hey, yo, I tried out that place. Let me go get some food right there, right quick. There's a sense of familiarity that I want you to get used to the places that you want to go to for 2026. I mean, heck, for example, for me, my wife and I, we got to go travel to Guadalajara and Monterrey, for example, just to get familiarized with those 2 cities if indeed we're going to end up making our way through those cities for 2026 together. So, that's what we got to do. But seriously, it is a really good idea to get used to these cities. So that way things are not as big of a shock when then you're dealing with all of these thousands and thousands of extra people coming to these cities for the first time. All right, mi gente, I hope I didn't overload you with a whole bunch of tips, but considering that we are 507 days away from the start of the 2026 World Cup, and remember, that's from the start of the tournament. That's not taking into account that tickets might go on sale later on this year in October, November. That's not taking into account that you got to book your travel this year, not closer to the tournament. So there is time and there isn't time, right? There's time to save money for all your spending in 2026, but you got to save your money for the tickets and your travel right now. So I hope these tips will be helpful. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Press the ring button so that way you're notified of my next videos. This is Travel Football Fan. Hasta la próxima.